Hello, and welcome to another tutorial. That was quite an odd intro. Good morning, if it's morning for you. I don't know why I said that, because it's actually the afternoon. I don't know. So today we are in 3ds Max, and as you can see by this lovely title above here, next to the subscribe button, please press it if you haven't already done so. We are going to be learning how to use Vray. Now, Vray is slightly similar to Mental Ray, and you can find it if you download it. I have a demo at the moment, so I will get a watermark over my render. So, this is Vray here. You can find it with all the other renderers. Now, when you select the Vray renderer, for some reason the render window gets fatter, and I'm not sure why. Now I'm going to go over how to set up something to make it look good, and show you how to set up a camera, and yeah, that's what I do. So to start with, I'm going to select the render size. So I like 35mm anamorphic because it makes it look like that, makes it look like a film. And you can see there's the watermark right there. Grr. And also when you render, you get this thing. It's basically like another render window saying what's going on and things. So yeah, I like to keep it at that size. That size. It's nice and small that way. Yeah, nice and small. Don't want anything 4K or anything. So we're going to start off by making a standard scene. So we're going to get a plane, going to drag it out, press W to get the move tool, and set all these values to 0 to center it up. Now we want to make it bend, so we press F4, and you can see the lines, the segments, but that's not enough. So we're going to go to modify, going to change the leg segments slightly higher. There we go. Now we're going to press B. I like to press a letter in the modifiers to find it, and we are going to just mess around with these numbers so I can show you what's going on, but nothing seems to be happening. I wonder why. We have to change the axis. There we go. So let's make this 90 degrees, so it's nice and straight. Angle, let's say that much. Now we want to limit the effect. Now it may look straight like that, but that's okay. We just have to increase this number a lot, and it will unpeel like that. If we hold shift, it can, whoa, yes, if you hold shift, it will do a lot quicker. Now we can move the gizmo, I like that name, to adjust where the bend is, so we can make it look nice. There we go. Now I can press R, and nope, that's still selected on the gizmo. If we select the plane and select R, we can stretch it out a bit. There we go. So now we have a nice curved set. Let's call it a set. Let's just stretch it out a bit more. There we go. There we go. So now we have our yeah, let's call it a set. Yeah. So now we are going to make, let's find a funky shape to do. What's a Gengon? Nah. What about what's this? Ooh, that looks funky, but nah. A prism. Nah. What about a torus knot? Ooh, yeah, that's nice and funky. Let's make it nice and thick. There we go. Now we're going to increase the segments just to make it look nice. I don't know what that does. Sides we're going to make higher as well. The more segments you get, just to let you know, the slower this will go. So you have been warned. Now we're going to create a camera. So cameras, Vray. You'll notice that is new. we have more than target in 3, so click on V-Ray. We have dome cam and a physical cam. We're going to use physical cam for now, so we are going to just drag it out. It's like a normal target camera. Press C in this viewport and middle click if you have a mouse which can do that. I'm just gonna, there we go. Now I'm gonna go over, but first we're gonna set up some lights. I'm gonna go over the settings you need to set it on later. So now we're gonna go to V-Ray lights. We're gonna hit a light, and in this viewport we're going to drag it out, and in this viewport we're gonna move it over here. There we go. Now this may look completely white and overexposed, but it's okay. It's okay. Now we're going to hold Shift and move this across to the other side. Don't want it to be an instance. Click OK. Now if we press this button, it will flip it. Now we can flip it any axis you want, but for now we're going to just flip it that way. Now this one we're going to colour blue. I sound slightly posh, don't I? And this one we're going to colour a warm colour. Yes. So, let's see what happens if we rendered it now. Absolutely nothing. And you can close this, by the way. You can barely see anything there. Very dark. Now, we can go into the camera properties in the modify tab, and we can now. I'm just going to go over all of the settings. If you do photography or you're in the film business, I don't know why you'd be watching this tutorial, but if you're good with DSLR cameras, you might know some of this. If you know film cameras, maybe. Now, film gate, I'm guessing, is the size of the film. I don't actually know. Don't quote me on this. Focal length is just like a focal length, like on your lens. Like you've got an 18mm lens, that's quite a wide lens. 40mm, that's a middle lens. Field of view, I think that's basically the same as that, so we're going to put that back to 40 for now. Zoom factor, that again is just how much it's just the same thing. They're all the same thing, they just do they all do the same thing, they're just named differently. Horizontal offset, that's just another interesting looking thing. I'm going to guessing that's going to do the same thing. It just makes it look weird. Lots of options. Now, F number. Now, if you have like a DSLR camera, I'm holding my lens now. There it is. It's a rubbish lens, kit lens. You'll be able to control the aperture, which is basically the F number in this. And the aperture, the lower the number, the brighter your image will be. There's something in the lens which opens up the lower that number goes. I don't want to get into too much detail because this isn't a tutorial on photography. I could do one if you want, but yes. So this number controls, it's basically the brightness and also the depth of field. The larger the number is, the less depth of field you get, the lower it is more. So we're going to lower it. Now you can see a grid moving here. Now that's the focus, that's what parts are going to be in focus. So if we lower it really small, that tiny piece of space in between the grid, you can see it on here, this view is going to be in focus. So it doesn't matter for now, but we're going to just drop that number. Vertical shift, I don't know what that is, it's just funky. Focus distance, how far it's focused. Vignettes, the dark edges around the screen. White balance, how warm or cool the image looks. Custom balance, same thing. Temperature, same thing. Shutter speed. On digital cameras like an SLR or a film camera, that's the higher that is, the less motion blur you get. Basically, I'm not going to go into it. The lower it is, the more shutter speed you get, and plus the brighter it is. Another complicated thing. The higher it is, the less light, less motion blur. Lower it is, more light, more motion blur. Film speed. Now this won't do much. It's just another thing to control the brightness. I think that was the first R I did. I'm going off topic. ISO with SLR cameras and film cameras is how sensitive the film or sensor is to light. So the higher it is, the more sensitive it is, but the more noise you get. But that you don't get noise with this. It's just going to control the brightness. I am going really fast. If I am terribly sorry if you're not keeping up. Bokeh. Now that's what the depth of field looks like when you focus on a light. It will turn into a circle or a hexagon or something. It depends how many. I'm confusing you. I'm sorry. Bokeh is just what the depth of field looks like. Sampling, just quality, distortion, what the lens looks like. I don't know any of these, so yeah, that is the V-Ray camera. Done. I'm sorry if I went too fast. I'm terribly sorry. You can rewind if you have any questions about that. Please just put it in the comments. Yeah. So now we have lowered the aperture, and it's now brighter, and that actually looks quite good. But you can see it's very grainy. Nothing to do with the ISO. That's just the quality of the render. Now I've also noticed. I can't really see, so I'm gonna put the default lights. Segments low. Ooh dear. Segments up. Sides. There we go. You can see some harsh edges on there. So there we go. That already looks quite good. You've got nice highlight there and a fill light, very nice. So now we're going to make it look better. So we're going to go to the render settings, go to Indirect Illumination. You always need this. Turn on V-Ray Indirect Illumination. We are going to select. We're going to leave the first thing as irradiance map. The second one, light cache. Now, depending on how high quality, how good you want your renders to look, you're going to have to want to adjust these. But for now, I'm going to do it very low, just for time's sake. And we're going to want to show the Calc Phase, which is basically like when it does the final gather thing in Mental Ray. You can see it going. If you have it on, if you check that off, you won't be able to see what's going on. I like to see what's going on. Yes, quite. Jeeves, tell the viewers what this thing is. Well, the light cache is another thing which controls how awesome it looks. The subdivisions is what you want to change. Now, 250. The higher that is, the higher quality it will look. The lower that number, the lower it will look, and the faster it will go. We're going to use a low number today, just to keep it nice and slow. Now, you're going to want to show the Calc Phase as well, so you can see what's going on. Thank you, Jeeves. That was very nice. You're welcome, sir. I'm sorry about that. Now, if we render that, you can see this is the light cache, and then this is the irradiance map. Now, this may make it. No, it's okay now. So there we go. Now, light will bounce off materials, so you can see it looks slightly more illuminated there, and on the ground just there it looks like there's light bouncing off. So yeah. Now we're going to set up materials, so we press M. Okay. Now this is going to be a whole new material setup, but it's quite easy. It's self-explanatory. So we've got all of these materials for V-Ray. We're going to use V-Ray material. Ooh, yeah. Now we're just going to make a standard thing for the background. So let's just make the diffuse white. It's very similar to Mental Ray Arc and Design, and it's sort of similar to standard, but you've just got a lot more options and control over it. So we're just going to make a nice white background for our lovely torus knot to go in. There we go. You can you can see there is the global illumination. So now we are going to make material for that. Now that already looks quite awesome. We might want to move the light back here because it's making a shadow. So light. Select the light, move it back. There we go. If we render now, I think that shadow should be gone. Now this is quite quick, and you're getting quite good results. So if you're willing to spend a little more time on renders, you can get some amazing stuff. Amazing. Like, I think they did Golem with V-Ray, I'm not sure. Maybe Transformers. No, it wasn't Transformers. I don't know. I know they've done some good stuff in V-Ray. So, we are now going to make a material for this. Now we're going to make a nice and shiny one. So, we need to make this V-Ray material. There we go. Now, let's make the colour... Let's go for a light blue. There we go. Now, let's see what that looks like. Now, that's definitely gonna... Sometimes this happens with me. I'm not sure if it happens with you, but the global illumination will turn off. So I have to set it again. I don't know why it does this. Must be the demo being special. So we're just going to do that again, set it to 250, show the calc phase, can't click on it, render! So now we're going to have a very blue thing. Now you will definitely be able to see the self-illumination with the blue being illuminated below. And you can see it in the middle as well there. So now we're going to make it look shiny. So reflect. The whiter this is, the more it will reflect. So we need to, if we show the background, you can see it's going to reflect. Now the glossiness is basically how sharp the reflection is. So the lower the glossiness, the less sharp the reflection will be. So if we lower that to something like that, it will slow down. But there you go, you can see it will be nice. Whoa, quality's gone there. You can see it looks very awesome. So, Fresnel reflections, no idea what that is. We can put it less reflective, there we go. Now refract, that's basically making it see-through. If it's completely white, it's going to be glass. So we are going to have it, let's just give it a little bit of refract. Sure. See how that looks. And then that's 0.7. Last time I clicked and dragged, it broke, so yeah. Subdivisions. You want to increase that if you want the higher quality reflections. Now you can see here when this decides to load, because this is basically rendering the material. There we go. You can see it's very grainy. There's lots of specks. Now if that's the look you're after, then okay. It's frozen on me, great. There we go. If that's the look you're after, that's fine, but if you want it to be nice and clean, you want to up that to like 64, something like that, 16. Now translucency, I will get onto that in a second. All of this stuff is advanced things which I will not get into. This is just the basics. So if we do a render of this, it's going to take quite a while. Now you can already see you're getting some specular there, which looks very nice. Okay. If this render does start to take a while, I may pause it. Nope, it's good, we can sit through this. For some reason the highlights, the specular here, takes a while. This is going not bad. Last time I did this just took forever. And it looks quite cool. Doesn't it look quite cool? I believe it does. I have a tweet, just to let you know. Now doesn't that look fine and dandy? Now if you have like a HDR map for the environment map, if you have, yeah, I'm gonna calm down, breathe, slow down. I'm sorry. If you have a Vray Hdr Environment Map, you can get some awesome looking reflections going on. Our HDR is basically a picture, a 360 picture, which 3ds Max bends around the scene to make it look like that object is actually in that picture, if you know what I mean. And the object will reflect that picture. And it will also, the bright areas of the HDR image will shine a light onto the scene, if that makes sense. I'm terribly sorry if I'm going too fast. I just wanted to keep this tutorial short, but even though it's now coming up to 20 minutes, it's not going well. Now, translucency. We can Let's go for hard wax. I'm gonna clone this. This is an interesting thing. It will clone the render window, and you can just drag it over to the side, and it will keep it. Another feature, you can show different channels. You can show the red, green, and blue. You can show the alpha channel, but there isn't one. You can show monochrome, black and white. Oh, that looks nice. Okay, talking too fast again. I'm sorry. Blur, blur, blur. You can render different cameras, viewports. You can. I'm gonna stop. This is not the tutorial. There we go. Now, the dot thing which appears at the start, that calculates some more of the light bouncing off things. Now, but first, that translucency thing did not work. So we're going to cancel this render and make it more translucent. So we're going to make it completely white. Yes. Now, I think translucency is just another way of making it see-through. So now we're going to have a look at that. Ooh! Yeah, all of this thing, that can keep going. The higher that number is, the more that will keep calculating. Eventually that will start to look completely real, and you could actually use it as a render, but I don't know why it won't do that. So here is... Yes, the hard wax thing I just selected on translucency gives it a more of a wax feel, basically. If I took that off, because that I've just set the refraction to completely see-through, but that's not completely see-through. So I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to turn off that. I'm going to put that up to 1. Nope, to 0.8. There we go. And render that again. Doesn't that look beautiful? Yes, and here you can see more information than this window, because this won't tell you much. With Mental Ray, there's lots of menus here which will tell you this. I don't know why they have it here. Basically, this tells you all the samples, the memory usage. 3 meg, that's ridiculous. I've got 8,000 meg to use. Use it. Number of faces, etc. Except I have hiccups, I'm sorry. Okay, this render may take a while because it's going see-through. In the meantime, look at the pretty picture. Oh, it didn't work. Didn't work. Oh well. I'm going to pause this while this renders. 8 minutes on the same squares. And this is at lowest quality. Almost. Think what it would be like at good quality. I mean, look at that. Look at that. It looks terrible. I'm vibrating. Stop vibrating. Yeah, I'm gonna stop that. Yeah. So there you go. Whoa. That is all you need to know for the basics. The basics. That looks cool. Of Vray. With, hopefully, you can do some funky things with text. You don't actually have to make a scene like this with the lights there. You can. These don't have to be planes. These could be a dome lights. Those are basically like omni lights, but half. You can have a sphere. That's like an omni. You can have a mesh, which is basically a box. Yeah. There you go. V-Ray for you. There's also, in the lights thing, a V-Ray Sum, which is like the daylight system. Ambient light. I haven't actually used that, but I'm guessing that's like click the fingers, like I've forgot what it's called. Skylight, yeah. I'm guessing that's like a skylight. Yeah, you can do a lot of cool things with V-Ray. So I would advise, what have I done? I would highly advise messing around with it. Get the demo, do some crazy things. Like I've done an awesome test in the desert. It looks like there's I shall find it. Here we go. That was it's like a desert scene. I just made this was very basic. I just got a plane, made it, added some noise to it so it was all bumpy, modelled some rocks, textured them. It was really easy to do, and then just scattered them across the plane, and then came up with this. This was again with V-Ray physical cam. had depth of field. All of this is just completely out of the render I got, but this is 4K. You can see the size of the, like at normal size, that's how big it is. You can see everything, yeah. But yeah, this was, I'm not sure how long this took, but you can get some really awesome looking stuff. I believe I've done something, no, don't save this, with a, I can't spell desert. No. Well, I did something where I put like a military vehicle in it, but it looked cool, but I can't find it anymore. Damn it. Well, there you go. That's V-Ray for you, homies. Please dig it up, home slice, which basically means subscribe. Please. We're getting quite a lot of views now, which is good. We're getting our subscriber count just going whoop. It was good. It's been going up very quickly this week. We've also had a notification on our channel saying that we can monetize our videos, which basically means we can, I'm sorry, but we can put ads on there, but that's a good thing because they won't be, if they're the video ones, we will try and make them the skippable ones, and you can just close them if they get in the way. We don't want to impede your viewings. Oh, I sound posh. But this is a good thing because that means we can start making a little bit of money from this, and then we can spend more time doing this and make them better. We can stop using demos of V-Ray and get horrible watermarks on it.